We want to shift gears. Let's talk a little basketball. So we got the news yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. This is what happens when you come off a holiday.
Yeah.
It's just I keep wanting to say Monday, but it's not Monday. It's Tuesday. So we learned that Charlotte will not host CIAA basketball tournaments, and that is for 2027 through 2029. The reason, scheduling conflicts as a key factor for the rejection. But this has been a talker for a long time, CIAA tournament. We were actually talking about this.
It's been a conversation since we lost it.
Yeah. And look, the CIAA tournament is, at least in Charlotte, was a staple. Mm-hmm. It was something that, when I was in high school growing up about an hour and a half away from Charlotte, we talked about, like, are you going to go? Your mom, is your dad going to let you go to? And so that was always, even in college.
I had friends in college who went from South Carolina. I mean, it was an hour and a half drive. So
it was a real possibility when you're in college because you had
sure.
no sort of parental restrictions.
Right.
It came synonymous with the parties, right? Yep. There was a lot of attention on the party scene. And, there are other people out there that focused on...
It's a social event.
It was a social event. And so it moved to Baltimore. And it's been there in Baltimore. When I was working in Raleigh, our sports director would drive up to Baltimore to cover the CIAA tournament. Mm-hmm. And from what he told me, it was a great experience. Mm-hmm. Baltimore did the tournament well, and it looks like the tournament trusts Baltimore, the city, mm-hmm. with the future of the tournament. And so we want to bring in a guy who's been covering this story every step of the way. That's WCNC Charlotte's Miles Harris.
I was waiting for you. Tag me in, man. Tag me in. I'm waiting. Tag me in. I'm ready to go. No, I'm kidding.
No, I felt like I was taking a lot away from what you were going to tell us. But I'm just trying to give some sort of personal experience, some backstory to CIAA not choosing Charlotte. The big question, because I remember, I think the last time we had you in here, mm-hmm. and we were optimistic.
Yes, and from hearing from some of the city council members, James Mitchell in particular, very, very confident in trying to get this tournament back. And so even we had talked, and whether it was on the stream or even like at the desk, like just kind of learning more about the impacts of this. And it's so much more than just basketball. So it is a little bit of a blow that Charlotte's not hosting this tournament again. But now I guess we're kind of trying to figure out what the next steps are. And so I know that you had hinted at it and mentioned it, figuring out the reasons on why Charlotte's not hosting this tournament. And there are a bunch of factors. We heard from the CRVA. They mentioned that one of the big factors with this, or one of the factors we should say at least, was just the scheduling conflict. They wanted the bid for it to be for 2027, 28, and 29. But from what we have been able to gather, it looks like Charlotte was really only trying to put the bid in for 28 and 29. You got to think about it. We already have a lot of major sporting events, in particular the ACC women's basketball tournament, which does fall in line, I think, with the 2027 timeline. But also they're doing renovations at Spectrum Center, though, too. So when you kind of factor in a lot of those other things, it's a loss for Charlotte, but at the same time, is it a loss for Charlotte? Because you're not getting this tournament, but you're getting other sporting events, major sporting events. So one of the things that we had talked about, too, was, was it some of the other extracurriculars that were happening, crime-related stuff that was pushing this tournament away? I don't know if that's necessarily the only, if it is even a big factor on why this tournament's not here. I just think that what Baltimore is doing with this tournament, from what I've been able to hear so far, they have this thing down to a science. And you really got to think about it. I mean, this is an event that's gathered 100,000 plus to come into, whether it's Charlotte, whether it's DC, whether it's Baltimore in particular, wherever this may be, right?
Right there between some pretty big markets.
Yes, I mean, it's up there, right? And so you got to make sure that everything's in order, and it's not just the venues, it's the hotels, it's the accommodations with everything else. And so I feel like there is so much on Charlotte's plate right now that the CIAA is just not lining up right now, I should say. I think it's kind of curious to see, and we're going to talk to James Mitchell here in a little bit, kind of learning what the next steps are with that. And then, are you guys giving up on this tournament? It's tricky because now you're looking at not seeing this becoming a possibility until 2030.
That'd be 10 years since
Lord
it
knows
left?
what Charlotte looked like at that time.
Exactly. Exactly. And so this is, we've talked about it offline as well as the growth of the city. there's stuff that comes with it. This is one of those things that, unfortunately, timing-wise, it kind of got pushed out just because of a lot of other things that are taking place. But I think one of the other factors that I was even finding in some of the research as well was, even before it left Charlotte, it was moved from Spectrum Center to the Bojangles Coliseum, which was the pitch.
Yeah.
If you're going to have an event come into Charlotte, not saying anything's wrong with the Bojangles Coliseum, but
right.
you want to go big, right? And so you want to have a sporting event, in particular a basketball sporting event, at a place like Spectrum. You've already got the Hornets that play there. We just had the ACC tournament there as well. It makes sense to try to line that up. I don't know how much of a pull or a draw having it at the Bojangles was for the committee that ended up making that decision as
and it's
well.
optics too. I mean, like you said, you have the ACC tournament there, and then you move CIAA to Bojangles,
right.
optics-wise, right?
Right,
you know, so
right, exactly.
Yeah.
And so it's just kind of curious because, I mean, we just talked about it, though, too. We had something similar with the BCIC tournament that was here. What did city council or from officials, what did they learn from that tournament to tailor in similar events like the CIAA? Obviously, every sporting event, not saying that the ACC tournament, I'm just going to make that clear. We're not trying to make it seem like it's not a big tournament in comparison or bigger than the CIAA.
Right.
CIAA brings in other things with it. We just talked about it, the parties, the atmosphere, everything. What is it going to take for Charlotte to bring a tournament like that back is the question. And that's what we're trying to get answered today. So
I'm going to let you go because I know you have an interview, but I have one, I guess, thing for us to leave this off on. What is Charlotte? Like, it's a conversation that we had in our morning meeting. What is Charlotte? Is Charlotte a college basketball city? Is Charlotte an NFL town? Is Charlotte pro basketball? Is Charlotte tennis? What is
identity? What is
the identity? I mean, because I say we as a city because we live in the city. Like, it's lean into sports, but what, is it golf?
What defines us?
What defines Charlotte?
Yeah. Is it golf? Is it basketball? Or is it baseball? Is it soccer? I mean, we have major sporting. We have world-class soccer coming in Charlotte in a month. So it's not like Charlotte's not getting
soccer. Yeah, let me not forget soccer.
And that's what I mean. Like, so it's not like Charlotte's not getting major sporting events. We are. It's just scheduling. It's just finding the right venues, and it's obviously making sure that when they do come to town, that we are giving them the biggest red carpet we can give them when they're here. So
a lot to figure out.
We just gave a big red carpet at Quail Hollow.
Exactly.
And there's never like a lack, like you said. There's not like a lack of sporting events happening in Charlotte. I feel like turn around and there's another big major sporting event being announced or about to happen. So I understand, but it is something that I think is on a lot of folks' mind. What is when I'm from the High Point Greensboro area, Greensboro known as ACC town. So the ACC tournament was the calling card for Greensboro. At small of this compared you compare it wise to Raleigh and Charlotte, much smaller.
Right.
And we were known as ACC town. So Raleigh, known for the Hurricanes.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. Thank you, Carlene. Carolina Hurricanes. Hurricanes. It is further east. So the Carolina Hurricanes. So I guess we will have to figure that.
We'll see. We know we were pushing for it to come back. We know. I told Councilmember Mitchell, I'm like, hey, I got a guy at my desk. He wants it to come back. I'm trying to make sure that we make that happen, man. But just know that like city officials, a lot of people, and it's not even just officials. I mean, it is the tourists and even the hotel industry. They're looking at trying to get this tournament and seeing if they can bring it back. I mean, there are a lot of teams, players that are trying to see, because you obviously want to make sure that Charlotte is the biggest attraction for these type of events. It helps in so many ways, in more ways than one, and it reverses it as well. So we'll see kind of what they're going to do after this bid to kind of see what they can put on the plate or on the calendar. But I mean, there already is a lot of stuff on the plate, but just trying to see what it looks like moving forward, man.
WCNC Charlotte's Miles Harris here in Live Impact News. Thank you for your time, man.
Appreciate you tagging me in, man. I appreciate that.
Finally, after a while.
I'm totally kidding.
Give me the script.
No, I'm kidding.
Miles Harris. All right, man. Thank you, man.